Hi, my name's Gabe, and this is Mega Man for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This will be the first part of a walkthrough that will lead you through the entire game. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into this. This is the original Mega Man. If you, know me at all, you'll know that Mega Man is one of my most favorite video game franchises. So I'm excited to dive into the hexology of Mega Man games for the NES, and we're starting off with this one. So just press start. This will flash for a second, and you're given this. This is a stage select, and every Mega Man game has one. Basically, the guys that you see in the pictures are the bosses of respective stages. So when you select a guy, you get taken to their level. You play through their entire level, and then you have to fight the boss. So there are 6 robot masters, that's what they're called, and in addition to having to fight all of them, once you beat one, you get its power. And you can use their power against other bosses. So certain bosses have certain weaknesses, so it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors system. So I'll go over the weaknesses right now, because you could start on the chain whenever, but I'll give my thoughts on that in a second. So Cutman works well against Elec Man. Elec Man works well against Iceman. Iceman works against Fireman. Fireman works against Bombman. Bombman works against Gutsman, and Gutsman works against Cutman. So it's a complete loop. Now, in order to get into this loop, you'll always have to fight one of the robot masters with bullets only, with only your Mega Buster. So, let's see here. So, I'm gonna do my own route. I'm actually gonna start with Gutsman. I'll explain why in a second. But if you wanted to start with someone else, Cutman, Gutsman, and Bombman are all pretty easy to deal with. They're the easier ones. Elec Man is incredibly difficult. Fireman isn't too bad, it's kind of a spam fight, but you still have to have a lot of health going in. Or you can master like the trick, but it's kind of weird. And Iceman is also very difficult. So is the stage, but he's doable. Out of all of them, I'd say just don't start with Elec Man. That's you're not gonna have much fun. I'm gonna start with Gutsman, because Gutsman works on Cutman, who works on Elec Man, and I could just start with Cutman and go to Elec Man, but this is the only Mega Man game to do this. Elec Man's stage has an additional item in it, and you need Gutsman's power to get it. And it's not like some optional thing, you need this item to beat the game. So if you were to start with Cutman or Elec Man, you'd have to go through Elec Man's stage a second time to get that item before you beat the game. So I'm going to start with Gutsman. This menu is kind of funky, by the way. To go clockwise, you press right, and to go counterclockwise, you press left. But yeah, I'm starting with Gutsman, so just press start. And here we go. Gutsman, clear points. 50,000. It's random how many clear points each guy is worth. They don't really matter. Alright, and we're in the game. A is jump, left and right is to move, left and right, B is shoot. You can have 3 bullets on screen at once, and that little bar in the top left is your health. If it gets to the bottom, you die. So these are Mets. You can't hit them when their hard hat is down. So what you have to do is you have to get close to them, and then they'll open up their hard hat and try to shoot something at you, and then you take the opportunity to shoot them back. This is a little points ball. At the end of the stage, they get tallied up and you get an extra points bonus. Here are some platforms. This is one of the harder parts of the game, so it's best to get this out of the way early on. You have to time your jumps, because these are ruthless. They will drop you off like instantaneously. I got some bad timing here. That bottom platform went the other way, so I'm gonna have to stay on this middle platform for a while. Oh man. Dang. Yeah, you gotta jump at the last second, or else you're gonna be toast. You have, if you press start, here's the menu. There's not too much here now. But once we start beating some robot masters, we'll get you can select their powers in here. You can also see how many lives you have. So I have 1 life left. This game counts 0 lives as an extra chance though. So we have 2 more shots at this. And if you run out of lives, you don't lose like any progress on like in terms of beating stages or whatever, but each stage has 2 checkpoints, one in the middle and one right before the boss. So if you get a game over, then you'll have to start from the beginning, but it's not too bad. So yeah, do this part again. This is probably the biggest turnoff from Gutsman stage. Gutsman stage is one of the shortest stages in the game, but this part is quite difficult. That's better timing right there. Yeah, so just... You don't want to wait until you die, but you don't want to... And that jump is really far too. Make sure you jump off at the last second. So here's some helis. They'll swoop down this parabola pattern, and they're actually pretty difficult to avoid and get used to. You just gotta learn the timing. But you can run past them in the beginning. This is an energy. There are big energies and little energies. I'll just fill you up. I think a Met in the beginning gave me a little energy earlier on. Here is, I think his name is Pickle Man, I don't know. But they jump out and they're kind of like Hammer Bros. And they have their shield up at first, so you have to wait for them to put their shield down. And they'll never stop throwing hammers, you just gotta... Oh yeah, spikes down there. If you fall in pits, you die, and if you touch spikes, generally all spikes in Mega Man games will kill you. So try to avoid them. Alright, here's the halfway point of the level. Some more helis are gonna come from off-screen. They shouldn't be too bad. Don't fall down this right side, because you'll most likely hit some spikes and die. Fall down here. Some energy. Here are little energies, that's what those look like. Yeah. Fall down here. There's an extra life right there. That one's pretty hard to get. Yeah, because if you fell on the right side, you land those spikes and die. Come down here. This is a big eye, and they have the most health in the game out of all enemies. They can either do a high jump or a little jump. You just kind of gotta get lucky. Either he'll get stuck on a step and you can blast him and he'll die, or if he comes close to you, you gotta get lucky with a high jump. If he doesn't jump high over you, he'll do a ton of damage when he runs into you. So yeah, again, you just gotta kind of get lucky. Always, I think it does like a 3rd damage, so make sure you have a decent amount of energy when you go up against those. Okay, so I just hopped through that gate. I came into this hallway. This is the boss hallway. Every stage has a boss hallway. Before the Robot Master boss. Mega Man 1 is the only one to have enemies in the boss hallways. But yeah, we made it through, and so there's one more gate, and through here is Gutsman. Let's go. So he's gonna drop from the ceiling, and he has his own health bar. So basically, here, I'll just pause it for a second. So the way this works is, he stomps, right? So he'll jump and stomp on the ground, and it'll shake the entire screen, and if you're on the ground when he's stomping, you'll get stunned. I'm stunned right now. You have to jump at like the very last second. And his second attack is, he can cause blocks to fall from the ceiling, and he can catch them and throw them at you, and they have this like massive spread shot effect that's pretty difficult to jump over, but you can do it. Oh, yeah, jump too. Also, if you're in an unlucky situation like me, he just kind of stomps on your face. You don't really want him to come close to you. There's a real good way to avoid him then. Dang. Ah, one more hit. There we go. So we kill Gutsman, and this element appears. Pick that up, and now we have gotten Gutsman's power. So our points get tallied up, and we get that little bonus. And it's back to the stage select. So now that we've defeated Gutsman, he's kind of grayed out right there. And now Gutsman works best against Cutman. So I'm going to do Cutman next. So Cutman's stage is considerably longer than Gutsman's is. And Cutman also features ladders. So you just press up and down when you're in a ladder. You can jump onto one. You can't jump off of it. When you press jump, you just kind of fall off. Cutman stage has a ton of helis in the beginning, and this is also a good time to bring up Mega Man has a lot of respawning, so enemies will come from off-screen after you've killed them. Here's also a good way to demonstrate Gutsman's power. So if you pause, you'll also notice that your lives transition between stages, so you don't get regenerated lives when you go to the next stage. Now I can mouse up to Gutsman's power with the D-pad. And when I select this, Mega Man turns into a palette swap of his a brown Mega Man. And you'll notice whenever I look at this brick, it starts flashing. So this works with all of these brick blocks, and there are different textured blocks all throughout the game that you can do this with. But so you look at the block and you press B, your attack button. Boop! And now Mega Man picks it up just like Gutsman. So I'm going to respawn this unfortunate soul, and he's going to be our test subject. So once you have it, you press B to throw it, and it'll, once it hits a surface, it'll unleash like a thing of projectiles. So let's... well, that's unfortunate. It does have kind of an arc. I'll try to... Well, I'll show it off in the Cutman battle a bit better. There we go. It's pretty fun to use. Gotta be mindful of the arc, though. So here's some more helis. They can be pretty annoying if you're just getting used to the game. Alright, these are blasters, and they'll open up to shoot, and just like Mets, that's your chance to attack them. So come through here. So now this vertical section is just littered with blasters. Dang, man. Alright, there we go. Your shots can go through walls, which is, if you're new to Mega Man, can be kind of weird to get used to. There we go. Alright, now this is a box of super cutters. So when you walk by, these like scissor things are gonna come out and try to cut you up. If you just run by them at top speed though, they can't hit you. Just run by. These are, I forgot what these things' names are. But they're these weird frog robots, and they'll jump around all crazy. Just try to hit them. It can be kind of difficult at times, but you can run past them too. These are Suzies, or I think they're also called octopus batteries. They basically just, ouch, they do a bunch of damage, as you just saw, and they basically just serve to suck up projectiles. So they take a lot of hits, and they'll just move between two surfaces. Alright. Whoa. Mega Man can't move his arm up or down, he can only shoot left and right, which can lead to some kind of tricky combat scenarios. This guy is also kind of annoying. Honestly, yeah, I'd say just walk past him. Alright. Come up here. Whatever. One of those guys. Here's another box of cutters. Just walk past it. You're going to be greeted by some more helis here, but if you can make it past them, you're rewarded with a big energy. I think one of them respawns. Nope. Full heal. So climb down here, and these are called... It starts with an M, I think. I don't know. They just come on, they shoot a spread shot. You can kill them like Mets when they open up, but since they keep respawning, it's really not worth it. So come down here, and you're greeted by a big eye. Oof, I keep getting lucky with these guys, but... Oh yeah, that's a weapon energy. You'll probably have noticed that some of them have dropped that before, and basically what you do with that is if you run over it with without any power selected, it's just blue. When you touch it, doesn't do anything. The way you use it is you select the power you want to power up, and then you touch it, and your weapon energy goes up a little bit. Because if that weapon energy gets all the way down, you can't use it anymore. And that translates over deaths, so if you die, you'll still have not too much weapon energy. But if you beat a stage and go to the next one, the weapon energy will come back. Same with if you get a game over. These are screwdrivers. They'll shoot a spread shot if you get close to them, so it's best just to stay away from them and take them out from afar. Alright, equip your Gutsman power and enter the arena. Here is Cutman. Okay, so, he only takes 2 hits with a super arm, which is good, because there's only 2 blocks in his room. However, these blocks don't come back. So if you miss with one of them, or you die like halfway through feeding him, and then you don't finish him off, then when you come back, assuming he still have lives left over, you're gonna have to fight him with just bullets. And he's not too bad, he can be pretty tricky though. I'm gonna try to take him out with Gutsman's power, but sometimes he can dodge it with those arcs. I got him once. Yeah, he has this boomerang weapon. There we go. Not too bad. Pick up his element, and we get his rolling cutter, his scissor boomerang. Alright, the final stage for this episode, Elec Man. So since I have Gutsman's power, I'll be able to pick up the optional, or not the optional, the mandatory item in this level. If you don't, it's no sweat, you'll just have to come back here again. These are called, Gabioles, and they're these really annoying little, like, Roomba things, and they get really fast if you're level with them. You can't destroy them with just your Mega Buster, you can only stun them. And this part is very hard to do if you don't have a weapon. You can do it like that, that's really hard. So, I'm surprised I did it first try. What I recommend is, if you have Gutsman's power, which you probably will, because you don't want to take Elec Man on without it. Yeah, it moves in this kind of oval pattern, you'll have to get used to it. This destroys them. So come up here, see some more, no big deal. Alright, and now here, these are the same tiles that we saw last time. They're in the room down there. For some reason, in the room down there, the tiles didn't activate, but in all the other ones, these will emit electricity. It's just those ones that don't. So just time your jumps. They're not too bad. They do a decent amount of damage. Oh, let me reset this. So, what just creeped on screen for a second, these are watchers, and they come down from the top of the screen and try to zap you. Your best bet is to just try to destroy them right before they can shoot their electricity. Alright, these are disappearing blocks, Yoku blocks, I think is what they're called, specifically. But these are in every Mega Man game, and nobody likes them too much. You just have to time their jumps, and they're pretty tricky, see, because with this one you have to... I recommend being on the left of that platform, so if you get knocked off, you'll get knocked back onto the platform and not down to the screen below. So if you come up to this, this left one, this just gives you some weapon energy. So if you used up a lot of Cutman stuff, you can refuel that. But you can't really get up to that platform from here, so you'll have to come down and get to there. So the way you do that is here. So you have to get onto this again, and then do a leap of faith and land on that one. So now that you're here, there's kind of a little train. You just slowly make your way across. Alright, come up here. Now we're finally outside of the tower, at least for a little bit. You can get this energy, but it's like impossible to get out, and you'll probably die. So I wouldn't recommend it. I believe this is the halfway point. I didn't point out the halfway point in Cutman stage. But, yeah. I would recommend taking the inner path, because I think it's easier. The inside path, because you don't have to deal with the Gabia walls. You do have to deal with this electricity, though. But it shouldn't be too bad. It's just timing. Here's some more watchers. These ones are kind of tricky, since they're so far away, but you just gotta time it. Alright, here's that item I was talking about. This is the magnet beam. And it allows you to make like temporary platforms, and it serves as another weapon that you can use. And you need Gutsman's power to get to it because it's blocked by blocks. And pick it up, and now we have an additional power, this M power for magnet. And we'll use that in just a second, actually. If you take the left path, you can beat the stage without having to use the magnet beam. The right path requires you to use it. So if for some reason you're doing this before you beat Gutsman, you'll have to take the path on the left. Alright, so come up here. Yeah, so this is the path that requires you to use the the magnet beam, and if you have the magnet beam to get through here, it assumes that you have the Guts power up as well. So remove this, and then come down here and select magnet beam. And so the longer you hold it down, the longer a platform will be created. It doesn't use up more energy. Per se, it uses up more energy the more platforms you make. So I'm just going to jump and tap it real quick. You don't want to jump at full height like that, because then you can't get on it. So just do a little jump and make one, and it'll stay there for a second. So it's a little bit janky, but it's not too bad. So that, and now there's another one of these screens, except there's no enticing energy right there. Come up here, and you'll have to time this jump again. This is the same jump as before. It looks a bit scarier since there's platforms are smaller. Here's a big guy. This guy is very difficult to... Yeah, he always gets me for some reason. So he goes down a third of my health. But come through here. Elecman has the rare vertical boss gate, so that's cool. This one you'll have to time. You're climbing through these electrical streams. And this goes on for 2 screens, which is a bit overkill in my opinion. But you know. I think this would be a good time to bring up, so I'm gonna pause and equip my Cutman power to take on Elecman. But if you pause on a ladder while you're climbing, Mega Man will not be climbing when you unpause. So always remember to be holding up or down when you unpause after you've done something on a ladder if you want to stay there. It's just like that. Alright, there we go, into Elecman's chamber. There he is. Whoa, okay. So the reason this fight is so difficult is because Elecman is incredibly fast. He just runs around. He's crazy. He'll jump. He has no real pattern. He moves to like 3 different points in the room and shoots electricity. He's very fast. That's the first reason why he's difficult. The second reason is his attack. He has the Thunder Beam, which is this massive wave of electricity that he can shoot out of his his hands, not only does it take up a huge portion of the screen, it's so hard to jump over. It does a third damage. It doesn't as much damage as a big eye does. Okay, it does a huge amount of damage. So he's very difficult to take out with the Mega Buster for those reasons. However, if you have Cutman's weapon, you do third damage to him. So you only need to hit him 3 times as well if you have Cutman's weapon. So it quickly becomes an even duel if you have this. So my advice is to just press buttons and hope you win. Maybe I'll try to give better advice than that. A good way to damage him a lot very fast is immediately throw it, and it'll usually hit him, and then jump away from it, and it'll come back to you. And if you can kind of guide it, you can get it to go behind him, and then hit him again. He got me once. You'll see. There's not too much else to the fight. You just kind of gotta get lucky, especially in this room. It's pretty tricky. It's a pretty tricky fight. But that's Elec Man. So grab the Thunder Beam. Get some points. If you get a game over, you lose your points. But no one really cares about the points, so it doesn't really matter. And there you go. Those are the first 3 Robot Masters taken care of. And that will be the end of part 1. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful or entertaining to watch. And I'll see you guys later.